Hey, Rainbow here, and how are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. First thing I'm going to tell you is I'm going to be installing the cord for this Foval automatic battery charger. Now this is a 12 volt, 1000 milliamp battery charger. Now this thing right here, okay, you can get this on Amazon. It's about 22 bucks. This is not mine. This one belongs to my neighbor. So what I'm going to be putting on is this cord right here. All right, this cord, which I'm going to go over, all right, and I'll explain why. Now, this is the one that I purchased for my vehicle. Now, I already had this connector, so when I bought my Ducati Multistrada V4S, it already came with the charging cord on it. They all seem to be pretty universal, but this is the one that I put on. It doesn't matter which one you get as long as the cord is the same. I'm going to be putting on the Foval on my neighbor's bike. When you get this, one of the cords that comes with is a standard cord with the clamps that you can put on any battery to charge it. Okay, so this is what you would put on if you didn't have any sort of a battery cord like we're going to put on. All right, so this is standard. This is extremely easy to install. There's just two connections and you're going to want some tie straps, and that's about it. One of the things that I like about this one and the one that I have is that this cord has a built-in removable, replaceable fuse. And that's important just in case something happens, you have a fault on the battery charger and it starts charging too fast, it'll just blow the fuse and you can replace it rather than overcharging or overheating your battery. Now, it's not going to stop it from overcharging if it goes wrong and it constantly charges and boils your battery, but it's going to stop any large heavy current that's in there. So the first thing that you're going to need is access to your battery, and all that you're going to need access to is simply the two battery posts. Again, this is super simple. There's really there's two main components to this that are important. The first one is that you have a really good connection to the battery and that you don't risk having it short out. And the next thing is that you tie strap the cord somewhere so that it doesn't automatically pull on the battery. It pulls on a part of the frame or something else. That's pretty much it. So let's get started and let's take off these battery terminals. Okay, one thing that I think is important is that you should always take off the negative terminal first, okay? When you're working on any battery, it's always best to take the negative terminal off first. And you're gonna say, well, why is that? Well, this is why. If I take off the positive terminal and maybe something falls across to it, or you can actually short it out because this goes to the frame. All right, if you accidentally touch something to the frame while you're trying to take off the positive terminal, it's going to short out and cause a spark or some problems. You don't want that. So you always start with the negative or black terminal first. Now the battery itself is marked positive and negative, and then we also have the red boot, which signifies positive, but always go by the battery. Look at what's on the battery before you do anything and make sure that it was put in right the first time. So let's go ahead and take this battery terminal off. Now, one of the things you want to make sure is that you don't lose the little insert down here. This little insert, it's a little flat nut, is what your screw is going to thread into. Make sure that this doesn't fall out. Again, you don't have to remove the battery to do this. You just need to make sure that you don't drop this out of the way. Okay, so let's take care of the positive terminal. And always remember how or what position this was in when you took it off. All right, if you notice here, there are two tabs. All right, they're going to go on either side. This comes down over here and there's a little lip. So if you try to put this on this way, for example, it's never going to fit right. And that's exactly what I found with the previous battery. The previous battery wasn't put in right. There was a bad connection. It was a new battery and there was actually nothing wrong with the battery. It's just that the positive wasn't threaded through all the way. So there was enough voltage showing on the meter when they checked the battery, and there was a little bit of amperage to turn some of the lights on, but there wasn't enough amperage to start the vehicle. And the reason why is because it was a very poor connection, which could eventually lead to an overheating of that connection. So remember which way these come off and make sure that you put them right back on the exact same way. All right, something else you want to take care of is you want to make sure that with these, I want to put these on like this, okay? If I put this on upside down, it's going to pinch it at an angle. So this could be flush. I could probably put it in this way or this way, all right? It doesn't matter. And again, when I put these back, I'm going to follow the same sequence. I removed the negative first, then I removed the positive. When I put it back together, I'm going to hook up the positive, then I'm going to hook up the negative last. Make sense? I hope so. One more little thing here, just for attention to detail, is that I'm going to be coming out the back like this, therefore it's going to fit in here. See, I can't put it in this way or try to jam it in here. I want to put it now. I could always put it on the top, but I prefer to pinch this down, so I don't want to have, well, not any chance, but I want to have less of a chance of this thing working its way loose and touching something. I just want it hidden underneath here so that it's clamped down and that connection is covered. Okay, so let's do it now. Okay, now that that's secure, let's go ahead and put on the negative terminal to complete the circuit. And also, I forgot to mention, make sure your battery is not turned on. So make sure your key's out, it's not in the on position, so you don't have any amperage coming through and causing any sparks. If you see some sparks when you're trying to put this back on, you may have an issue or there may be a short somewhere in your system. All right, so now I'm going to put this cover on that goes on this Kawasaki Vulcan S, and it just is, it's the last thing I have to put on before I put the seat on. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I find a good position to let this thing hang out where it's not going to get hung up in the chain and it's not going to pull on any of the terminals. All right, so let's get this on. All right, the next thing you want to do is just put the seat in place where it's going to be, just so you can check for any pinch points, all right? So once you do that, then you can see in here and you know where you can leave this hanging out. Again, I'm a little afraid with this one because it's really close to the chain. The chain is right below here, so we don't want a lot hanging out. You don't need a lot hanging out at all. But now that I see where this is at, and if there is going to be a gap here, I'm not concerned about bringing it out here or over here. All right, let's continue. Okay, so what I decided is to use the bracket back here to tie back the excess, leaving really easily available on the positive terminal the inline fuse, okay, and leaving about this much to hang out because you don't really want much more than that. All right, that's more than sufficient, and it's not going to get pinched on anything. It'll always be exposed, but we're going to talk about that soon. Okay, so let's get the seat installed now. Okay, so let's plug it in and make sure it works. Okay, with this particular model, the green light on the right means that there's power to the charger. The red light in the middle means that it's currently charging. And then the light on the left, which is out, when that turns on, that means the charge is complete. So right now, this thing is taking a charge. Oh, and there's one more thing that I like to do. I like to put a little bit of this dielectric grease in the connection. So let's go ahead and do that now. So you're probably wondering why the dielectric grease? Well, it keeps it from getting corroded, keeps the moisture out, and it makes a really good connection when you do plug it in. I used this a long time ago when I was in the Marine Corps and we used to work on aircraft, and it's just stuck with me since. So that's what it looks like when it's done. Neat, out of the way, not gonna hang in the chain, secured, connected to the battery, and now you have an easy access point every time you want to charge your battery versus having to take the bike apart. This is Rainbow. Like and subscribe. And if you want, both of these products, or at least one of them, I haven't done this yet, are going to be in the description below. Full disclosure, since I do have an account with Amazon as I don't even know what the hell you call it, Amazon associate, I might make 28 cents on this if you buy one of these. So if you want to find it, I don't really care. Find whichever one you want. I don't care what brand. I don't care what country you get it from. But I would highly recommend, if you don't have one of these on your bike, get them, because what's nice about these chargers is that these chargers come with this connector. That's what I like about it. And if you already have a charger that has this type of a connector, go ahead and see if you can just buy the connector on its own. And if I can find one of those, I'll put a link for that too. Anyway, Rainbow, I am out of here.